Welcome back to Always Learning, and what are we doing today? Well, we're learning about pork butt steaks. Now, if you hadn't heard of pork butt steaks, I talked to a guy on a bus that was actually from St. Louis, and he was telling me about it, and we were talking about barbecue, and he said, dude, if you love ribs, then quit wasting 6 hours of your time and just switch over to pork butt steaks because they taste like ribs, but you can make them in about 12 minutes. So he had me there. So ever since then, I've been making pork butt steaks, and they're pretty simple. I actually pick these up at Sam's. If you don't have them at your local grocery store, you can probably take a Boston butt or a pork butt, and you can get your local butcher to cut them up. I got all these for $8.60 for the total package, so they're pretty affordable, and they're pretty easy to do. I usually just take mustard, and then I'll use that kind of as a binder and put it on there. And then traditionally people use pepper or salt on them is all they put on them. I typically use whatever barbecue kind of rub that I have laying around, and that's what I typically kind of put on them. And then something else that I've added, I learned from a guy from associated with Smokin' O's barbecue in St. Louis, was to add granulated garlic on there. It says it kind of gives them a little extra unique taste and a little extra kind of kick that kind of just enhances the flavor of them. But if you haven't had them, like I said, they're pretty easy to make. The way I make them is I put these actually on the smoker at 150 for about 30 minutes and just kind of let them smoke. Traditionally, you smoke them with hickory. And then I came back, cranked up the pellet grill to 350 and cooked them 6 minutes on each side. And you want to try to get the pork above 145 internal temperature. They've pretty much bred out most of the trichinosis where, in the past you'd want to get it to 160 and 170. I left these on a little long. As you can see here, once I pulled them off, the internal temperature got up to 170. I'm sure if they were closer to 145, they'd have been a little more tender, but they were fine and they were delicious. So anyway, that's a pretty simple way, pretty quick way to make a rib substitute if you'd like it. One thing I'd also mention is a friend of mine, Tim Johnson, tried it, but you take basically some butter, put it in a pan. You also put a cup of white vinegar. You add a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of pepper, a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, and you kind of mix a little slurry, and you put that on your steak while it's on the grill. And then when you pull it off, you actually put it in the pan and drizzle it all over it, and then you let it rest for a little bit. It just kind of kicks it up a little bit, but something else you might want to consider trying. But that's how you make pork butt steak. So I just suggest you give it a try at least once and let me know what you think.